Okay, so I am meal prepping today, and I wanted to share a super yummy chicken recipe. It's a honey teriyaki chicken recipe. All you need is rice vinegar, and then you need a low sodium soy sauce, which this is normally what I use. But today I am gonna try these. I've heard a ton about these liquid aminos, and the macros are just a little bit better than the other soy sauce. So it's 0 calories, 0 fat, 0 carbs, and a little bit of protein. But the thing with soy sauce is obviously the sodium. And this one has 320 milligrams of sodium, where this one, if it'll focus, it has 575 milligrams of sodium. And normally, sodium, I think a lot of people are freaked out by sodium, and it does matter, but not as much. If you're drinking as much water as you should, then you need to have salt and the mineral in your diet. Otherwise, that's when you start getting headaches. A lot of people, when they start drinking a lot of water, they do get headaches because it's kind of washing that mineral and that sodium out. So don't be as afraid of sodium as most people make it out to be. But yeah, I'm excited to try the liquid aminos. And then you use a little bit of honey. It's always good to get local honey. This isn't, but local honey is good if you get like allergies and stuff. And then garlic. If you get actual garlic and chop it up, it's probably better, but I'm too lazy for that. And then black pepper and ginger. So I've already cut up my chicken, and I like to cut up my chicken with a knife because it grosses me out to do it with I do it with scissors because the knife grosses me out. And so I cut my chicken breasts in half this way and then in half this way. So they're all in there, and then I'll add the ingredients. Okay, so the recipe is half a cup of soy sauce. And I'll probably end up doubling this recipe because it calls for 3 pounds of chicken, and I have 6 in there. So, and then it's 2 tablespoons of the rice vinegar. And then 2 teaspoons of ginger. And then it says 2 cloves of garlic, and so I'll just sprinkle as much garlic as I want in there. And then 1/8 teaspoon of black pepper. And then I believe, I'm not looking at the recipe, it's a half a cup of honey, but I'm just gonna eyeball it, just to kind of cover it all. That looks good. Okay, and I'm using my Instant Pot, and so I'll definitely need more liquid in there for it to pressure cook. And then I do manual, and I'll do it for 30 minutes. So I will have that cooking, and I do it for 30 minutes so that the chicken will shred, and then I shred it, and I have rice cooking over here. So I will show you what it looks like in 30 minutes. And then I just tried these. Just took like my fingertip and tasted them, and they actually taste really good. They taste just like it tastes just like soy sauce. So I definitely do suggest this with the little bit better macros, and that it's the natural soy sauce. So okay, so I'm pairing it with rice, and I am going to do a half cup of rice in each one. So for my carb source, I'm gonna make sweet potatoes. So I just peeled the sweet potato, and now I'm gonna chop it up into little squares, triangles. Okay, so I am going to pan roast it, and so I put a little bit of olive oil in the bottom of a pan. I probably put a little bit too much. And I'm just gonna heat up the olive oil. So once that is heated, I am gonna add in sweet potatoes. And I'm going to season it with garlic salt. I love to season everything with garlic salt. Like my tilapia, I drench it with garlic salt. And then a little bit of paprika. I think there's like a chipotle paprika that's even better. So I just season it with a little bit of that. And then some chili powder. And a little bit of black pepper. So I'm just going to stir that a couple times. I'm going to put the lid on it just for it to steam and make them soft. Okay, while my sweet potatoes are cooking, I am going to make my lunch now. And I am having ground beef, and I just make sure to get the 96% lean, 4% fat. Ground turkey is honestly better, but closer to my competition, I'll get lean ground turkey just because it's a lot leaner. But for now, I will do ground beef. Just make sure you get the lean ground beef. And I season that again with garlic salt. And I really like chili powder, so I'll also put a little bit of chili powder on there. And so for my lunch, I have tacos. So I will have the ground beef with 2 ounces of an avocado on a whole wheat tortilla that's under 22 grams of carbs. So the whole wheat tortillas I get are 16 grams of carbs. And then I add lettuce, and you can add other veggies if you want, but that's all I put on mine. So now to make mine. Okay, so these are done now. You kind of know they're done once they're done like soaking in all of that olive oil. Burnt mine a little bit, but I like things a little bit burnt. So I just put these in a bigger Tupperware, and I'll put them in the fridge. And I cook these to have with my dinner with tilapia and broccoli. You don't have to cook them till they're super, super soft, because even once you put them in here, they're still steaming, and they're gonna get even softer while it sits in here. And I also think when you reheat them in the microwave, they get softer again, and I just don't love super mushy sweet potatoes, so personal preference. Okay, so this is done, and now I am going to measure it out. I do 6 ounces for all of my meat. So I just put the Tupperware on there, zero it out, and I will just put 6 ounces in there. Okay, another thing with the ground beef is just make sure you wash it when you're done, just to rinse all of the fat and everything off of there before you scoop it out. Okay, so our chicken just went off, so I'm just gonna do a quick release on the Instant Pot. Okay, so it's done releasing, and that is what it looks like, and now I'm just gonna shred it up. Okay, so once the chicken is done, it shreds so easy, and it's so super yummy. You just want to make sure, I used to shred it like way too thin, but once you put like the soy sauce juice mix back on it and mix it up, it becomes like way too thin and almost like mushy. So I like to shred it a little bit thicker like that. So okay, so normally you would take the reserves and heat it up on the stove in a pan and add in flour and cornstarch just until it's like that thick teriyaki consistency, but I totally forgot to get cornstarch, and I thought I had some, but I don't. So instead, I'm just gonna use it like a regular soy sauce, and I'm gonna pour it over the top of the chicken and rice, and it'll still be just as good, just not as thick like a teriyaki sticky sauce. Okay, so I'm doing measurements for my husband, but for us girls, you would do, well, it depends on your macros. So I would do half a cup of rice and 6 ounces of chicken. So I'm just gonna measure that out onto the scale. Okay, so there is my full meal prep for today. So what I will eat this week is so tomorrow morning I'll make my eggs. So I do 6 egg whites and 1 whole egg. And I take that to work and I eat that at like 11. And then I will have this for lunch on a whole wheat tortilla. I just get any tortilla that is less than 22 grams of carbs. The other ones I have are 16, just depending on what other carb source I'm having for that day. So I'll have eggs on a tortilla at 11, and that'll be my breakfast. And then I'll have this on a tortilla with avocado and some lettuce for my lunch. And then I put protein in here, and I'll have a protein shake on my way home. Right before that, I have another snack around like 1, and it is a tortilla with peanut butter on it. And then this is just my vitamins that I take to work, and then I will get home and I will have these sweet potatoes with broccoli and 6 ounces of tilapia and another protein shake before I go to bed. So that is meal prep. And then I figured I would share this one because it's a little bit yummier than what I eat right now because I'm prepping. So this is my husband, so just the rice and then the teriyaki chicken. This would also be super yummy with broccoli with it too. So let me know if you try this recipe. It's super good, and it really is so much better if you use the cornstarch and thicken up that soy sauce reserves. But okay, I got these little Tupperware meal prep containers off of Amazon, and I love them. I'm super OCD about everything matching, so those few that don't match are driving me crazy, but they weren't too expensive. So if you literally just search on Amazon meal prep containers, these should come up, and they work super great. A few other things that I wanted to show you that I've loved for prepping is this little scooper for protein. I drink protein on my way home from work, and I was just putting it in baggies. And same with this. These are all my vitamins that I take. And I got this and my husband was like, what is that? Old people with arthritis use that. But I got it to use for my vitamins. So both of these I was taking to work in a plastic baggie, and I just thought that was a waste and was gonna add up to costing more. So using this every day, I think I'm gonna love it. I just got them this weekend, so I'm excited to use them. So just a few little hacks if you are on the go like me.